Hello, everyone. This is Friday Night at the Barbell with your hosts, Bryant Wood, and myself, Carson Wendell. Bryant, I'll let you introduce our guest today.
We've got Marcus McCord on with us, one of our longtime judges that's throwing red lights at everybody in Alabama at all the powerlifting meets. He's also a coach and a big family man and drummer as well. Marcus, welcome on.
Thank you guys for having me, man. Finally made
Yes,
it
sir.
to the big stage.
Yeah, the smallest big stage in the state.
Still counts.
So we'll jump right into it. I want to know when and how you found powerlifting, because powerlifting in Alabama, not that big compared to other states.
Exactly.
We got a small community, but I feel like it's been growing for forever now.
I'd say I started at the beginning. Of course, like everybody else, I probably got in through just, trying to be jacked, bodybuilding type stuff. So got kind of serious about lifting when I got to college, which was a long time ago, 2002. So most of y'all probably in middle school, elementary school. Back then it was just, magazines, word of mouth stuff. YouTube wasn't big back then, so like everything you had to learn on your own, techniques, nutrition. So for me, I'm a more of a hands-on learner. So like that stuck better than, just seeing clips on TikTok and all that stuff. So got started in bodybuilding. I was a skinny kid growing up. I only did like plyometrics in high school to run faster and jump higher. But, college, you get there, you see all these big guys. So I'm like, man, I got to get on some weights. So you just start working out there. I remember this few guys along the way taught me a lot. This one guy in particular on the supplement store. He was an old retired coach bodybuilder, and he had a background in pharmacology. So like he knew drugs, he knew nutrition. Because every time I saw something in the supplement book, I would go in there and try and buy it. And one day he's like, "Look, man, I can let you buy this stuff every day, all day, but there's a certain list of stuff that works and certain list that doesn't." He's like, "I'm not saying these guys don't take this, but they also take this." Back then I was naive and green. Drugs weren't mainstream back then, so you really didn't know about it. So it was just a big eye-opening experience. Then, I just kept lifting from there on out. I always had the bug about bodybuilding and had friends who competed, but I was like, I could never do that. Fast forward years later, I did my first physique competition in 2016, 2017 maybe. So I took third at that show. Then
Not
the
long
next
ago.
year, like I always lifted heavy. And I remember, I don't know if you remember Jacob Kilgore. Yeah. So Jacob and his now wife, but girlfriend back then, they compete in powerlifting. It was like 2017. I was like, man, you should try and meet. I was like, I'm not strong enough. And you're never as strong as you think you're gonna be. So
No one's ever strong enough for a
yeah,
powerlifting meet.
they kind of coached me into my first meet, along with like Les back then. Like they were all kids, like 18, 19 years old.
But Jacob was a world champ at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah. Jacob, yeah, was a teenage world champion at that point. So him and Haley kind of coached me into an SPF meet of all meets. My
Yep.
first and only SPF meet.
No
Looking back on
socks
it,
required.
it was horrendous. But yeah, that was 2017. Got the bug. I did one more physique show after that. Then it was just all powerlifting from there. So like even before that, like I was coaching people. I would say I got serious coaching people at 25, but before that, I did a lot of hands-on free stuff for people, $5 training sessions just to get your experience. Because I feel like experience is gonna be your best teacher always. Like I just had like a bunch of different case studies of my own, like get my own plans together, feeling my own style. Yeah, I started. Yeah, I say serious like I don't know, coaching people at 25, and I didn't do my first physique show until 31. I did my first powerlifting meet at 32. Currently 40, so that gives you
Really.
a long timeline.
Back to back to back.
Yeah,
Never stopping.
yeah, and then of course after SPF, I found crossover to USPA. Start getting more acclimated with the local people like Charlie and all those guys who were like real detrimental and helpful. I think Battle of the Beast was my first Alabama USPA meet. Then after that, I know I did drug tested nationals in West Virginia. And that's when me and Les started working together. And that was 2017. long time ago. I was one of the last like first clients. Then I did the Olympia push pull meet. That maybe in 2018, 2019 or something. It just kept going from there. So,
And you compete at 165 still?
no. So
181?
I've competed anywhere from 148 to 198, which
Dang.
Yeah.
one time I did 198. Me and Les went head to head, and we were both like light 198s. But I'm
Yeah.
consistent like a 181.
Okay.
I doubt I ever see a 165. Definitely not a 148 day again in my life.
I don't blame you.
I
Cutting
like to
that
see
weight.
about 190s, but I've never been 200 pounds in my life, so I gotta
I mean, you've never been a man then, right?
like right small guy, man. 40 years old, never been 200 pounds.
And then, yeah, you go to 200 and then cut for another bodybuilding show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Carson just actually competed in bodybuilding.
Yeah. It's fun. I've
Very good,
enjoyed
just
doing
like-
both. Kind of, they're both different challenges, but yeah. When was it you competed in that bodybuilding show?
Physique, my first one was 2017, I think. And the last one I did was maybe 2018. And the second one, it was natural fed. So I got my pro card and won overall in that second show and never competed after that. I never used my pro card.
Yeah, your pro card. That's a big accomplishment.
Never used it.
You just didn't like the cutting?
I mean, just it takes a different mindset.
Mm-hmm.
The dieting, the cardio. I mean, you just
Yeah.
got to be all in.
It's hard, especially when you have a lot other things going on. You have
Yeah,
family.
I did it with 2 kids, like 2 or 3 jobs. So it'd be 4:30 workout sessions, get the kids ready for school. I work out on lunchtime sometimes. I work out after work.
Yeah.
So like when I hear people's excuses, I'm like, man, whatever.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which one do you like better?
I like the training of both, which is like why my style has always been more of a power building style. So I mean, my thing, seeing both sides of the spectrum, powerlifting, either you get the lift or you don't. Like you know why.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding can be more politics. At one point, it could hypothetically. Bodybuilding is very what's the word I'm looking for?
Objective.
A very objective sport. The judge, you could be what the judges want that day or not. They say it's not influenced by sponsors, but it can be. Definitely can be. So like powerlifting, hey, you get the lift or you don't. Bodybuilding, maybe what they want that day may not be.
Yeah. 500 pounds is always going to be 500 pounds.
Exactly. Then like the camaraderie in powerlifting, it doesn't matter if you squatting 100 pounds or squatting 700. The camaraderie is always going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. And more times than not, even in the same weight class,
yeah,
it's like a friendly competition.
yeah. Like even if it's a rivalry there, like it's a friendly rivalry.
Yes.
Like very rarely you're gonna have your online bickering back and forth, which is kind of always entertaining sometimes.
Yeah. Depending on who it's on. Yeah.
Yeah,
I personally like that everyone hates on Russ now, but it is what it is. I can only take so much cringe before I have to jump on the bandwagon of hating on him.
yeah.
But so do you do a lot of bodybuilding coaching still, or is it
I'll still occasionally coach people in bodybuilding shows, preps.
nice?
I mean, like I'm still a personal trainer in the gym too, so I just have everyday lifestyle clients. I have some powerlifting. I got 2 people on my roster now who are doing possible bodybuilding shows. This younger kid, 22, who's got great genetics, and this other lady, she wants to do her first show. So currently, like 2 bodybuilding preps. The rest are powerlifting and just lifestyle clients.
Yeah.
Do you like programming for powerlifting better? What do you like to coach more? And then I guess what do you find it more difficult to coach for?
Bodybuilding prep is definitely more difficult, especially towards the end, because I mean, it's more meticulous with the diet. Like
Yeah.
you may have to make changes daily, especially like the last couple weeks going into a prep. And I mean, you factor in diet, nutrition. At some point, you got some people you factor in drugs. So like the big taboo thing, but like bodybuilding can definitely be more meticulous when you factor in all that stuff because it's like you're trying to get just 2% better sometimes at a risk of being 10% worse. So bodybuilding is definitely hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so. I think you could have the same template for most powerlifters and just keep churning it out because it all depends on their effort, not really about what's on the page.
You see where their weaknesses are, where they break down. Okay, we can mitigate your breakdown here, your weakness here by adding this exercise, cutting volume here. Pretty easy.
It's kind of standard.
Yeah.
Some standard stuff.
Yeah, as long as communication is there on both sides. That's the biggest thing on everything, just communication. Check-ins.
Yeah, communication. I think it's like not just communication, but how well you understand each other. Like that just relationship.
Yeah, like, I mean, you've seen a dozen times where the quote-unquote greatest coach can't work with a certain athlete. It's not because they're not a great coach, but I mean, just like the chemistry isn't there.
Yeah, they don't mix.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I guess what are some like different strategies that you take with your bodybuilding clients that you don't do with your powerlifting clients? Since it's tougher and more kind of you got to dial it in a bit more.
Okay, number one is going to definitely be nutrition, calorie cycling, carb cycling approach versus powerlifting. Unless you're trying to stay in a certain weight class, which can just be mitigated by a water cut in most instances.
Yeah.
Like bodybuilding, you're trying to maintain a certain look. We don't care as much about strength. Strength can be a marker and indicator, but it's not the biggest factor as in powerlifting. So nutrition is going to be a big part. Of course, like manipulating that caloric deficit via nutrition or cardio. It's not always about how you feel, more so about how you look. A lot of times you're going to feel very crappy, but hey, you're going to look awesome.
Yeah.
Versus powerlifting, you know, how you lift that day may depend all about how you feel. How, you know, it's small factors. But nutrition, to me, nutrition is going to be the biggest marker. Definitely probably going to be more volume on the bodybuilding side. But still not an excuse not to add volume on powerlifting.
Right.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Quote unquote cardio.
Yeah. Complaining about 5 reps.
Yeah. Set of 7. What?
Listen, at one point, I was doing like my pyramids on leg press at one point were like 50, 25, on down to like 8. I mean, I think it gives you a different type of conditioning though.
It does.
Because like most athletes going to powerlifting, like I'm big on hit cardio because I mean, you never know how fast your meet's gonna go. You may have a 10-person meet where you got to go back to back to back. So I mean, that cardio's got to be up. Like your recoverability has to be way up, especially if you're a bigger guy lifting heavier weights. Yeah, so I'm big on implement some type of hit.
Keep some conditioning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Better than just doing one SBD day a week.
Yeah, it doesn't look the same for everybody. My big hit factors, like I love assault bikes, I love rowers, climbers carries, like active stuff. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense that you would try to keep some conditioning in there. You don't really, I feel like I don't really hear people talk about that much, but if you play like you practice, you're trying to bring everything in together on that one day. Why would you not maybe focus on conditioning as well? Yeah,
because I mean, there's been plenty of times you've seen the strongest guy not have the best meet because he's just not conditioned, out of breath. Or he can't recover between his attempts.
Yeah. Seen it a million times.
Yeah.
Do you think being a referee helps with your coaching?
I definitely think so. I mean, I'm always going to be a big proponent of hitting depth.
Yeah.
I was going to be a big proponent of pausing your benches, locking out your deads. Because, like, you know what your judges are looking for. And, like, teach people what to expect at meets. Hey, you never know who's going to show up. That's one thing. You know, you could be the strongest man in your county, but you never know who's going to. It could be this guy from Texas that shows up. I mean, I always have the confidence, but hey, realize there's other factors out there.
Yeah, and like you just said a second ago, you know that they don't always go the same way or the same speed.
Right.
So you kind of have that introspective of like,
Yeah.
we need
That,
to make sure
definitely
we're ready.
more ref helps. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm always be honest with you. Like, nah, that was a little high, buddy.
Yeah, your athletes aren't allowed to miss depth.
Yeah. Even if I post a vid, I'm on the backside and be like, yeah, that was a little high, but
Yeah.
It'll be there on meet day.
we gonna make sure it's there on meet day.
Everyone's favorite powerlifting quote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There on meet day. And most of the time it's not there on meet day, actually.
Yeah.
I just saw someone who bombed out at the Nightmare
Oh yeah.
before Christmas. I mean, y'all had like maybe 5 or 6 people bomb out, but one of them in particular, I remember seeing videos on Instagram and thinking that is way high. And then,
Like, and you see this all the time in meets, but some of those openers were way too heavy.
Yeah.
Like, whenever I program openers, people look at me funny because it's pretty conservative. I'm like, nah, like, I'd rather build that confidence. That way, you're not going to bomb out of a meet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got your mojo going. Like, we'll bump up from there. But some of them
Yeah.
openers look like third attempts.
Yeah. That first lift of the meet is always too heavy.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I'd rather take a big jump to the second.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
I mean, getting crushed by an opener,
Yes.
not ideal.
Unless you got hurt in the warm-up area or something.
Yeah. Do you remember it was IPL Worlds?
Yep. This one kid tried to set the world record and dump that weight.
Yes, that was
I'm like,
a good one. I was thinking of the last day though, when that Sunday the bar didn't get changed or something. It was something was wrong. The bar said it was
okay. I wasn't there that Sunday.
okay. That Sunday, so the
bar
bar was in the system incorrectly.
Yes,
I don't remember if it was at 20 or 25. I think it was at 20.
25 instead of 30 kg, including it.
Yes, okay, that's what it was. And the first 2 ladies come out, and they're both in knee wraps.
Yeah,
and one of them is like a master's lifter.
Yeah,
and she's like opening with 3 weight or something,
Yeah.
but it was actually like 330 on the bar, and she got absolutely crushed. And we were like, damn, these people are opening up too heavy. Holy shit. The next lady, same thing, just gets crushed. Her opener was like 10 kilos heavier, 20 kilos heavier than she thought. Then the next one, it said 440 on the screen.
Mhm.
And then, we loaded way more than 440 because the plates that it was telling us to put on weren't for that bar. And I was like, this ain't fucking right. Hold on, this ain't right. This girl's about to get crushed because she thinks she's opening with 419, and it's actually 440 on the bar. We fixed it after the 3rd person, but I'll never forget those people just like coming out and walking out, and they're like, what the fuck? And then boom, immediately they're on the floor.
But nah, I remember this one kid at that particular meet. I was like, his warm ups couldn't have moved good because he dumped all 3 of those squats. Was he going for a world record at the gate?
Was he in single ply or was he raw?
He was a raw kid.
Okay,
I think he may have had reps.
Yeah, I think so.
But I'm like,
this
is cool.
That was the one you did.
Was he from Argentina?
This was on.
No, this is a different guy.
There was an Argentina guy that also bombed out, and he was in wraps, but he opened same thing. He opened with like 7 something, and it was not even close.
Yeah,
I felt bad because I was like, man, you can always bomb out.
Especially like those higher level meets, like you hate to see somebody bomb out, but
yeah,
man,
especially when you.
I mean, the risk.
Yeah,
those people are probably the ones that also signed up for open, junior, masters, bench only, deadlift only, push pull. Like $900 for a meet. Yes, $600 tab. Started closed out. Get a big goose egg on the board. I mean, I feel bad for him, but also, like, you didn't get hurt. You just fucked it up.
You're just not strong enough.
Not strong enough. They're undertrained. It's not that they're not strong enough. They're undertrained.
That comes down to strategy.
It does.
Like I said, if your coach is there and you bomb out because you miss openers, like, I'm going to blame your coach.
100%.
Because you should have seen that last warm-up was moving pretty slow. I'm like, if you got time to change that opener, go change that opener.
Well, I mean, I've not had anyone ever that 2 weeks out I didn't know what they could hit on the platform. It's like they might could hit something bigger, but I know they can hit this.
Yeah.
So that's the thing I don't get. It's like, why would you push it on your opener? Just because you can load up an extra 20 kilos doesn't mean you should.
Like I said, my goal is not to have anybody bomb out. Thus far, I haven't had anybody bomb out.
I've been close, but I haven't had anybody yet.
So Marcus, you've probably judged a lot of meets.
Yeah.
What's like one of the craziest things you've ever seen happen at a meet?
I remember at a Goggins meet. I don't know if I was judging or just helped spot and load that one, but this older guy, he tore both of his quads on squats. He finished the meet like he even did deadlifts. Like he wrapped both his knees and he pulled. It was an older guy. He pulled like 6 something. He tore both quads.
Jesus
like
Christ!
You could literally see him, the blood pooling in him. He was a tough old guy. He finished the whole meet. Like his second squat, it was maybe 6, close to 7. He tore both quads. But luckily, he got his first squat, so he didn't bomb out. So he went through and finished the whole meet.
That's insane.
I remember, crazy thing, I remember that was the same meet. That was Jamal Brown's first USPA meet after he got kicked out of USAPL. And back then he was, I'm going to say only, but he was lifting like 860, which is still crazy.
Yeah.
But I remember, seeing this kid, I was like, dang, he's going to be at the meet. So like when he loaded up, I was like, dang. Because back then he wasn't pulling hook grip yet, so he still had grip issues. But like little small Goggins meet in Georgia, and like this kid's blowing 860 up, like dang. And now he's well over 1,000.
Yeah, near 11.
I remember that was his first USPA meet when he crossed over from USAPL.
It's funny. Getting popped.
Yeah.
Coming to the USPA.
Yeah. I think he got popped for like T-ball or something.
Yeah, it was, I think.
That John Jones drug.
Yeah.
Ultra microdosing.
Speaking of that, the big topic in the room, the natty drug test, the topic the other week about the peptide situation with one of our fellow lifters. It's hilarious.
I don't really know too much about them, but I do. I mean, I get why they're banned. I don't know. It's very odd that some people think they should be not banned in places. To me.
I mean, as a PT, I'm sure you can look back and see when PTs actually use BPC and TB. Like some PTs are still prescribed in certain states.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy too, though.
Yeah.
Is that what for BPs?
They say peptide, but I mean, peptides can range anywhere from growth hormone to
Mr.
peptide.
Yeah.
But
dang,
I mean,
I don't blame people for taking it. I almost took it for my elbow, but I understand.
I mean, we also on the flip side, we also know that drug tested doesn't mean drug free.
100%.
It means you probably know the half-life of how to beat a detection test. I mean, it's been done. And all drug tests aren't the same. A WADA drug test is going to test metabolites and detection time. Our drug test, hypothetically, going to test TDE ratio, which you got a 5-to-1 TDE ratio, you can beat it. Big difference. We don't test detection times and metabolites, which can let a lot of people fly under that radar.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Which I personally don't agree with. Like, I feel like if you ever taken something, you should just compete untested.
Yeah, I mean, you've achieved the advantage.
Yeah.
At that point.
I mean, cellularly, like once you take something, like your chemistry is forever changed. Like even if you've been out 2 years, like your chemistry, your baseline is gonna be different than it was 2 years ago.
Yeah. People can come off and maintain so much.
Yeah.
It's I mean,
look at Pete Rubish.
Yeah.
He did so much for so long, came off of it, and he had a rough first year, but now he's like,
yeah, he's progressing like crazy.
And he's doing like marathons at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane.
It just took like auto regulation for his test levels and everything to come back to normal.
Yeah, I know he did like the whole natural protocol and of sit stanch and like the Fedoja stuff and all that, but I mean, it took a while, but he's still, Pete Rubish.
Yep. Which he's probably an outlier anyways, but still,
Nah, drug tested doesn't mean drug free.
Right.
It never has. It's kind of, I mean, it is unfortunate, but I just don't really see why people do that at the local level to begin with.
Exactly.
It's like you're cheating drug tests and you're doing it at a meet with 15 people. What are you getting out of that?
Yeah, it's not a $40,000 jackpot.
Right.
They can
I mean,
Instagram.
or even like nationals.
Yeah.
I could almost understand if you went to like a national level and tried to do some shit like that. But at fucking local meets, when you got Grandma Susan out there, come on. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But I do kind of like, I was talking to Ronald about it, but I like the mixed tested, untested meets.
Yeah.
He does not like them, but I like them. I think it just gives more people opportunity to lift, and it gives people an opportunity to not cheat. Like,
Yeah.
you can, you
I
have
mean,
no
I get it
excuse.
both ways where like you want to keep the tested pool to themselves and the non-tested
Mm-hmm.
pool to themselves. Of course, like your upper level meets, you always gonna have the tested versus non-tested debate. But I mean, there's some strong drug tested guys out there.
100
For your kids out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
to make you raise your eyebrows.
Yeah. That make you think like, I need CEP in the cut.
Mm.
I get
We
it.
can
I
call
mean, I get the
WADA.
argument for both, like mixing, but like you said, on a local level, like it's good for the promoters, good for the directors because they can get a bigger pool. Revenue will be better. Because I mean, if you restrict, it's going to be such a limited number of people, competitors.
It makes the meets worse.
Yes, you have less.
You have
People.
less people. I mean, we had, was it last year? We had maybe this year too, but last year we had 3 or 4 meets with like 15 people. You know, I mean, that's just not going to
The
work.
biggest meet last year was that the Golden 8 meet, like the past 2 years, because remember we had like 100, 120 people, 2 platforms, and that was all drug testing meet, but it was huge.
Yep. And now there's like 30.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you factor in like the whole federation crap and all that stuff. Like, I think that changed a lot of people.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't know if people will come back. There will be more people. It'll just take time.
Yeah.
And then there'll have to be bigger competitions, more involved. Have you seen the one that's happening down here in Mobile that's by
The 365?
365? Yeah.
That looks like it's
So
going to be a pretty good meet.
pretty wild, but he also just posted the new one, which is next year in July,
I think, or something.
with $1,000 cash prize to the top in the weight classes.
Yeah, I saw that one.
And I think he's doing first, second, third for overall. $1,000 cash prize, then like 500, 250, and he's also doing $500 for any world record broken. At just
$1,000 for the winners of the weight class.
I think it's actually of overall.
Just
but
over.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, still, I mean, you don't really hear about that.
no, that's what I'm saying. It's
Nah,
at a local level, it's
local,
insane.
yeah.
And then the one, yeah, $1,000 to best lifter, first, second, and third for best lifter by dots.
So maybe
1,400, 200. It should be. We'll see. He's doing this one in January 1st. That's also cash money, but
yeah, I think
biggest total also
Dalton and Kyler
$400.
doing that one.
Do what?
I think Dalton and Kyler are doing that meet.
Dalton and Kyler. There's some other people too. I don't know if you've met Roger Strick yet. I don't think he's done a meet in Birmingham yet. He's just did the American Pro though, so
That name sounds familiar.
yeah,
I
he's from.
Gene was supposed to do it, but he backed out. He's going to do another meet, I think.
Yeah, I think he's doing a USPC meet, maybe.
Meet, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dalton should have a really good meet down there.
It should be interesting. I mean, it's in January, so it won't be too hot. It will be cold.
Yeah, definitely going to be cold.
So there's no heat
That's
in
at
there.
the gym you work at it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no heat. There's no AC. So, and it's a big warehouse. So it's going to be cold.
It's going to be cold, yeah. Yeah.
Maybe he'll have some space heaters or something. But for this meet, the one they're doing, he's doing, he told us, or he told me, I don't remember, but he wants to like double the prize money for this one. Okay. So he's thinking about if he gets like a certain amount of people, like 30 or 35, he was going to come out of his own pocket and double every category. So, and he's got like best lifter in wraps and raw, untested and tested, heaviest totals, heaviest squat, bench, and deadlift. Any division.
Money then, buddy.
It's crazy, right? That's what I was talking to him about. He was telling me that he's able to. He's going to try to not do it out of his own pocket, but he said if he gets enough spectator money, that's all going to go to it. If he gets enough people signing up, that all goes to it. So somehow he's going to make it like break even. Like he was like, I'm not losing money on it already. So I don't really know how he's doing that. And he was saying a certain lifter coach judge in Florida was talking mad shit to him about it, trying to do a money meet. And you know who it is too.
Okay.
Gary said they go to the same gym, I guess, or something, but he was like telling him, he was telling me that he was talking shit, like, you'll never be able to make money doing that. It's not going to work. You shouldn't even run the meet, stuff like that. But I mean, it's working now. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll find his way eventually. Like I said, as long as the lifter see, he's a man of his word, he'll be good.
Yeah, as long as if he doesn't take the money and run, which I don't think there's that much money to take, but it's not worth it. But he's also a lifter and a coach, so I mean, he gets it. And I think he's 365 strong. He's using a monolift.
Monos, yeah.
So he's got some geared guys doing it too, which will be interesting. I don't know what kind of lifts we're going to see, but he said there's some big benchers coming.
Yeah, that's always scary, dude. Spotting like a multi-ply lifter.
Yeah, I know.
The world's like, we had to unload this guy who was benching maybe close to 7. But, it's just so hard getting it out. So, like, we basically had to kind of help him guide it out. And, if he misses, it's like a big rubber band's coming back straight towards his face.
Yep.
So you had to stay, like, close. Like, that's some scary stuff.
Yeah, and a lot of the spotters and loaders have never been around that before, so they have no idea.
Nah, that's multiply scary, especially on bench.
That's scary.
1,000-pound bench.
Yeah, coming straight back
January, maybe.
face.
That's crazy.
I'd be enthused. I did tell him I would help work the platform if he needed, so hopefully I don't have to actually load the weights.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, it's tough. Long meet. Just loading all day.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you did it 4 days, and
yeah, that was tough. We lost him. Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah, I know. After like 1 day, I'm like cashed.
Well, the worst part about that was the last day was the heaviest ones.
It's like
Day 1 is like 200 pounds. Day 4 is 800 pounds. It's like, God, my fingers. That was actually the worst part.
Your hands.
Picking up those
the glove
25-kilo plates.
That's key.
I think we had gloves. He's back. You're good. Yeah, you're good. I think we had gloves, but nobody used them. They didn't really help that much. I think the gloves to me when you're like spotting and loading is so they're good if you smash your fingers.
Or if you got new
here's your little padding.
Oil on them.
Yeah.
They're so slick. Yeah. So I think we had new plates at one of those meets, and we were talking about oil on them. They were super slick.
We were talking about that at Worlds.
Bro,
doing that for like 4 days straight.
Serious workout, like constantly squatting up and down.
Yeah.
Squatting, doing 55-pound curls over and over and over again.
Exactly.
Some overhead presses, depending on how tall they were. That's what I was saying, that for that meet here, I offered to work the platform for him, and since it's a bunch of geared guys, I'm hoping I don't have to load the plates. Because I'll run it, but I don't want to load them.
It's like 800 bench, and then the next bench is like 300.
Yeah, exactly. Marcus, we've joked about this. I think it would be just incredible if someone was having a bad competition and they go in and like, opener that they planned for weeks just feels like dog shit. It moves so slow. And they're like, this just ain't going to be the day. And then they jump from their 400-pound opener to like 800 pounds on their second attempt. Just for the pictures and the oohs and the ahs.
Just walk it out and then like, well, take it.
Yeah. Imagine someone is able to walk that out and they fucking walk out 800 pounds and they're just fucking dying. And then, the judges, everybody's like, what is happening right now? And people in the crowd have no idea what's going on.
Like, huh? You
Yeah, it's
go from
basically the same
400 to
thing, actually.
800.
See,
I'm gonna have
yeah,
aesthetics on speed
that'd
dial.
be awesome. Yeah, really. You can do it on all 3 lifts, though.
Yes.
I don't know about bench would be pretty terrifying. 600-pound bench. You're probably not getting it out of the rack, though.
Daily, like, yeah, 1,200. And just not even, like, just pull the slack out and then I don't have it today.
Hell, Heidi doesn't even bring 1,200 pounds. You're putting a metal plate on the end, strapping dumbbells to it.
I think the biggest
That'd
jumps
be
I've
funny.
seen, I remember that first SPF meet. Craig Godbold did that meet. He did bench only. He did 90-pound jumps, so it went 405, 495, 585. He did
That's
90
crazy.
pound jumps.
That's crazy. I mean, yeah, I've seen
I'm
some
talking about on
100
the bench though. This
kilo
is crazy.
jumps, but yeah, that's wild.
Yes, he
He still
probably
probably make those jumps.
up to 5 plates.
Probably plate, 2 plates,
Which is
plate.
wow.
A safe,
Yes.
yeah,
Dude,
a
he
safe
taking
600
600-pound
bench.
benches with no spot and a commercial.
Yeah, self unrack, suicide grip.
Nah, not
I can
new
say
life.
that'll never be me.
So, I'm sorry. I was just going to change
Yeah,
the
teach
subject. So,
me.
Marcus, do you do
I've
spin?
been teaching spin now about 6 years.
Teach spin? That's great. I've done one spin class. It was insane. Like, I was looking around at these people and they weren't like gassed, and I was
Teaching
like,
minimum
man, I'm
2 spin
dying.
classes per week. And like when I remember when I initially started teaching them, like my recoverability for lifting suffered a little bit, but now like I'm never sore. My hips are always loose. I'm never sore, and I attribute all that to riding that bike. Like it always keeps my hips fresh. Like I'm never really sore from leg workouts for real. Conditioning, of course, is always up, but yeah. So I mean, I encourage like people just like sometimes lifters just to get on the bike and ride a bike 2-3 times a week in the right position, and then to keep your hips super fresh.
It's a good plan. That's pretty cool. Powerlifting United version of the Peloton.
Yeah.
The Peloton
Get one of you
groups.
guys on regionals this year.
That'd be funny. I'm not. I'll be there, but I'm not doing it.
Same. I may be not.
I don't know, man. I'm thinking
Carson's
about
still
doing
in
that Masters
between.
meet in Texas in March. It's a USPA Masters meet.
What is that?
Some part of Texas, but it's a meet for all the old guys, essentially.
Oh, yeah. I did see that. That'd be
I don't
sick,
know,
though.
but I'm so like,
especially in
trying to speed
Texas.
train right now. The last meet I did was a year ago, Liftmas. And I have
Yeah.
my
You got hurt,
QL
didn't you?
issue.
Or did you?
And it's better, but like I haven't a low bar squatter pull sumo in I don't know how long. So no.
And that meets at the same time,
March.
February?
I think it's the middle of March. So that could give me roughly 12-ish weeks. I know it's a lot of ground to cover, man.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
I haven't been.
It'll bounce back. It's easier to get back there than it is to get there. First 4 weeks you'll bounce back, and the last 8 will be to make some ground up.
Like I remember the old Diamond K days, dude. It was just a different environment. Like you had 800, 900 pound squatters routinely, so you desensitized to your typical gym lifts. So like that environment made you strong. Like I need one of those environments again.
I don't know if there'll ever be one.
Yeah, I mean, Latini
You have to go train with Dalton at the Performance Center.
So I told him I may start going to his gym a little bit more. Just get back in the swing of like, train around people. Yeah.
Yeah, I forget about. He got that new spot.
Yeah.
I haven't either. I need to go see it too. Smurf House.
Yeah, I may start going to train with Dalton some too because he's in reps now. Like sometimes he needs somebody to rap him. So, but not. He should get like 1,900 pounds at this next meet.
It should. I think he will. I'll be there. I'll make sure everybody knows. I'll make sure he knows if he doesn't too.
He's gonna squat 7 at least. He's benching over 4, so I mean, it's his day. And of course, Kyler is freaking 500 something pound bencher at 198, which is crazy. Yeah,
insane. Kyler's a freak. He's the actual freak of nature. Because I don't know if you know this about Kyler. I'm sure you do. His diet is absolutely abysmal. I mean, he eats like McDonald's every day. It's fucking wild. He eats McDonald's and ramen every day, and that's it. I was talking to him one time about protein. He was like, "What is that?" I'm like, "You're 200. You're 5'4", 215 pounds, bench over 500.
Nope.
You don't know anything
College
about
nutrition
nutrition
was
at
on
all."
point. And
Nope.
we had this conversation before. He's just a genetic freak. Like I remember he
Me?
going back to that first. There was a lot of people at the SPF meet. He was like 16 benching 405. He had just started squatting and deadlifting.
He was talking to me
I think
about
he
that.
may have
Just like
squatting and deadlifting the same amount. He was benching 405 at like 16, 17 years old. Yeah, but he
squat
was like,
405,
man, I
bench
just started
405,
deadlifting.
deadlift 405. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
those Samoan genetics
That's
are
funny. And now
crazy. Like he's got those thick like joint. Like if you look at him, he's
he's
built to like look like just genetically structured.
yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's a Kyler Kitchens is built like a power lifter. Because I
Yeah.
would be in 24E this summer lifting, and I'd be like, yeah, I mean, clearly I will never lift close to what he's doing because there's a big difference there. And he's like you said, he's like 21, 22 still doing the same shit at.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not 198 anymore, but I
That'd
mean,
be
210.
easy.
There's not a big difference
It'd be
there.
easy cut if you
He's
wanted it
that.
to be. But, I mean,
Yeah, I think he
regardless, his
likes
numbers are still
eating too
crazy.
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see if he can
Yeah,
put it
because
together
last meet, that was his
and
issue.
hold on to a deadlift
His
finally.
hand ripped at lift message. Yeah. Because he squatted with like 720 something.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
Dude,
He said if he doesn't start making money, he's out. So
I was like, man, you way too strong. Like, you need to be doing these bigger meets. Yeah. Because, I mean,
for
you
sure,
can be very competitive there.
it's tough. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's so young.
Yeah, he's very young.
Yeah.
He's a little ball of muscle too. I mean, I feel like he's
Yeah.
pretty much maxed his frame out just in terms of size.
Nah.
I don't know if it would be worth it to go up any
Like,
more than he
unless
is.
he added more to his lower frame, like more leg mass or something, that's the only place I see him packing on.
Mm-hmm. Even then, that's the point where it's like it's impeding his depth. His legs get any bigger. Yeah, he's a nice guy though. He's a nice kid. I think he's gonna do really well, and then hopefully, that'll mean he'll do something even bigger next.
Yeah. He definitely like a bigger stage.
Just needs that opportunity. Has he already done 500 dots? You know off the top of your head?
If I'm not mistaken.
I remember. Let's see. Yeah, way over. I don't know what I'm talking about. Way over. 50. But he's got to get close to that 600 before he's happy. So he told me. It is. For him. And for Dalton. Well, 600 maybe not, but Dalton should be hitting that
like
new level with this meet.
If he goes 1900.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he's probably going to be a light 275 or so.
Yeah, he'll be.
Because he hadn't totally filled out 275 yet, I don't think.
No, he hadn't. And then his last one was 479.
I think he can get 5.
Be close. Yeah. With are the wraps the wraps the same formula?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, most people.
It's a different category.
If you know how to use them, you can get 10 to 15% out of wraps.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, like
with Dalton, he doesn't have the right stance for him.
He's like in flats now because to me, wraps I always felt better in flats. And like I think he's learned to sit back in them more. And then he's got a pair of my wraps, the little bridges.
Mm-hmm.
They give you more rebound at the bottom. So I personally like a more rebound wrap when I do use wraps, just to spring at the bottom. But of course, your upper back has to be really strong to get that top third. Versus like a casting wrap that stops you in the bottom or restricts you. I like a rebound wrap.
Carson, that's what you should
do. Yeah.
Come back and do knee wraps.
That's what I was about to say. If I come out and do a meet, I'll probably wrap. And I think I would prefer. I've used wraps a couple times, but I think I would prefer something like that, like that run more really quad dominant when I squat. I'm not a wide stance. I'm pretty close to
gonna be the little bridge. They give you the right amount of cast, the right amount of rebound. Yeah, like I said, about 10 to 15%. Some people get more. Like I've seen some guys get close to 100 pounds out of freaking wraps.
Mm-hmm. Some people get a lot more.
Crazy.
Yep. I think it all depends on how you're squatting. Like Carson, quad dominant, kind of closer stance, he'd get a lot.
Yeah, that's what I tell people. Like, think about You're just trying to stretch his rubber band as far as possible and just pop it out of there. But yeah, you got to trust them reps.
Yep.
But I mean, more you
That's a
train,
hard
the
thing
more
to
you get
do.
used to them.
Yeah. It'd be tough, Carson, because you don't
Yeah.
have a monolift anymore,
Yeah.
but
Walking
you got
out
the
of
mono
reps is way
arms.
harder than
Got the
walking out of
mono
split by
arms.
me. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
Like me walking out of just like
I think it's just because they're so tight.
it's not even the tightness because you get past the pain portion real quick. It's just the walkout is like more shaky and worse sleeves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your knees don't want to bend.
Like
And then you got them one at a
squat.
time. I can see.
Yeah, and then squatting 700 pounds.
Yeah, and then it's like 700 pounds. The bar's fucking a noodle on your back.
There's rap
It's
squat.
all the
606
things.
in the gym. I did 6 in the meet with reps. And like I said, that 6 in the meet move was my third attempt. It moved like nothing.
But it's all the
Yeah.
pre-squat movement.
Yeah.
Walking it out,
I
controlling
felt like if I
it.
squat out of mono, I probably could have went 635 or something versus walking it out. Because that way, I mean, you can set your pick, you can set your feet width how you want it, brace up and just dunk it.
We got any plans for a
Yeah.
monolift meet with Powerlifting
Chris
United?
Martini's Journey of the Curse Land, they're going to be a monolift meet. It's probably going to be our first one. I know they just posted it the other day. I was looking at it. So it's going to be
she just posted them all.
Which I thought about doing that one. I was like, that'd be interesting. Because I think it's in April. That's plenty of time to prep for. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun. It could be something you jump into, Carson.
But still should be a pretty good turnout, though. Yeah. Like it
will be. They always do. That'll be interesting because how much bigger is it than the last spot? How much bigger is it than the last spot?
Bigger. Like it's just open place. I'm sure square footage is probably double at least. It's like one of those big warehouse buildings or like cast in place iron buildings. Yeah. And like he's got all the equipment,
little warehouse,
more stuff, more space.
Yeah.
Be plenty of room in there.
Well, and they bought Charlie stuff.
Yeah, he's got 2 monolifts, so you have a monolift in the warm-up area and mono on the platform.
Be interesting. I wonder who all might bring some people out of retirement for that.
Like Georgia and those type people. Yeah.
Yep. The equipped raw wraps guys and gals. So there used to be a bunch of them in Alabama, but after COVID, everybody
I think those kind of
retired.
SPF started to die in the South, like geared lifters kind of. Because we had more geared lifters than SPF, and what was the other fed? APF, I think. They had more gear. APA, that's what it was.
Yeah, APA. Yeah, I actually just went to, not just, I guess it was way earlier this year, but APA had a meet through the Powerlifting Hall of Fame, the Alabama Powerlifting Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I remember seeing that flyer somewhere.
It was in Rainbow City. That shit was wild. It kind of blew my mind. It was like I stepped back in time because they had a monolift.
Yeah.
And then they used like one of those Forza type benches. And it was all pound plates. And they had a 100-pound plate.
Yeah.
That was like painted gold. And that was fucking awful. When people were going up to 400 pounds on squat, we had to put the 100-pound plate on there. And you're fucking all the way up. You're power cleaning it, putting it on the bar. And it's got to be absolutely perfect timing. Otherwise, the bar fucking flips right out of the monolift. And that meet was like one flight. You go from the 12-year-old teenager to the 85-year-old man. So the weights are all over the place. You're starting with like 65 pounds on squat and going all the way to like 600 pounds using that 100-pound plate. I went to because Jeff Ray did that competition. And so I went to kind of handle him and coach. And they were like, we need somebody to work the platform. Nobody's here. Nobody showed up that we thought was going to be here. And I was like, I'll help. I don't care. And get out there. Terrible mistake. But, I'm glad I helped them out. But the way they also called the weights out, no digital, right? There's no screen behind me to look at. the guy on the microphone is like, up next with 200 kilos. And then the head judge, who was like 95 years old, everybody was talking about how he shouldn't be judging anymore because he's too old. He was like falling asleep half the time, and he was reading it off of a sheet of paper of what weights go on the bar. And I was like, this is a fucking disaster. Man, I had to leave early, but yeah, I think it took all day. It was so wild. When he started calling the weights out off the sheet of paper, I was like, this cannot be real. This is going to take forever. And then the guy across from me was like super country. So anytime he said anything to me, I'm like, I don't know what you're fucking saying. I can't understand you. Literally cannot understand.
I don't know. We're trying to get Charlie back on the platform.
That was a good day.
We've been joking about him in the judging group. It was like, yeah,
that piece of shit.
He's talking like he may get back on the platform.
Yeah, I heard he's supposedly lightening his schedule up soon. But I don't know.
Been like what 6 or 7
I would love to
years,
see it too.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah.
And his last one, he tore everything in his shoulder on a squat. That would be fun. That would be very fun to see, especially having a monolift would be the way to do it, to get him out of retirement in knee wraps. I think somebody told me he's not even lifting at all right now, though. So he's working too much. It wouldn't
take him long to get back to it, though, probably.
100%. Freak athlete. So it's D1 athletes, cheat codes. They get to go do whatever they want afterwards. And they're going to be good at it.
Of course.
We have anybody fail any drug tests recently?
Yes.
In Alabama?
Yeah. Yes.
I didn't even hear about it. Is that what you were talking about earlier? I missed it. What, at the Nightmare Before Liftmas? The one before that?
Very funny.
Wait, okay, now you have to go into it if you can.
It was a self-proclaimed.
Because I'm not familiar with this.
We were talking about the peptide thing. Yeah. Well, self-proclaimed.
Okay, it was
peptides.
So
to me, it seemed like a cop-out. So who would...
Yeah, it wasn't drugs, it was peptides kind of thing.
Squat, mean deadlift. The hold your one thing.
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I would believe anything.
Self-proclaimed, so like, why would you tell them yourself unless you probably trying to hide something else? Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It wouldn't surprise me at all. In fact, it would surprise me if it wasn't.
They was trashing him on
going on.
Gene, Black Mufasa, they was all giving him shit last week.
That's so funny. I was in finals mode, so I didn't see shit. Damn.
But yeah. But I mean,
that's
so he's
funny
got a 4-year ban from USAPL and IPF, I think.
You cannot talk all that shit. Like he was talking all that shit about everybody, and then
I'm not sure if it'll be a lifetime ban or not, but right now it's 4 years. Yeah.
I mean, that pretty much is. 4 years in powerlifting is a lifetime.
Yeah.
I mean, people won't be lifting in 4 years. That's crazy.
Oh man, you
I didn't even see that. I hate that I missed that.
Had a whole 10-page story.
I gotta go back.
Oh, bro.
Bet he did. Spitting all over the camera. I fucking love it.
Dude,
Gene's such a nice guy. It's so weird.
Like every time I met him,
100%
interaction we had, he's been a super nice guy.
That's how when I met Gene for the first time, he was like, he came up to me, like dapped me up. He was like, "Hey man, like the nicest person in the world."
Yes, it's like classic book by its cover with Gene. But what I do like about him is he will go after people.
Oh, bro.
When he thinks they did something fucking shitty.
Like I said, 10-story dialogue. He was in rare form that day. Oh man.
I wish I saw it.
That's so good. I mean, he's very open about what he does.
Like, bro,
so
strong is gonna be strong, no matter what.
I think
you take, like, so I'm not negating the fact that you're a strong guy, but just because apparently it was some stuff said, like he said to Gene or said to Black Mufasa or something, and like this was like blown up in his face.
I see. Yeah, I can't. Man, I don't know. It's just not the
It's not
sport to lie about.
It's not Major League Baseball, bro.
Like no one really cares anymore. Yeah, exactly. You're not going to go in front of Congress. Like just and to be honest, everybody knows. Like you're not just breaking an all-time world record.
Yes.
Across all federations and beating all the rap squats. Like it just doesn't just happen. Not 600 dots. how many people have 600 dots? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like there's like 3 guys
John had
or just 2.
him. Quite a few.
Oh, Colton.
Derek, this 8th, I think.
Did he get 600 as well?
Yeah, his last meet, when he broke the 275.
Yeah, Blake LaHoo.
Yeah.
It's mostly women though. Andrew House. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know anybody. My point was I don't know anybody in Raw hitting 600 dots that is not
That's crazy.
in the. Yeah, they're all in the untested league except for Austin Perkins. That's literally the only one. Taylor Atwood, I guess.
Okay.
I didn't even know that either. Literally everyone else, and Rondell Hunt. Rondell Hunt's the last one at literally 600 on the dot.
Yeah.
That's like actually in the drug tested, drug free category, I'd say. Closest you can get in powerlifting. Yeah, exactly. When you got Wada, I mean, that's funny. But I mean, you know, he's every time I've interacted with him, he's been super nice. I haven't had a bad interaction with Juwan, but
yeah,
you know, it happens. Peptides, like I said, peptides are. I was talking to somebody else about it, so maybe they saw that conversation. But like peptides are definitely performance enhancing.
Every PED is an antibiotic.
I don't see how you could.
Like even if you go back to Lance Armstrong, him being powerful PEDs with EPO just increase red blood cell count to recover from racing. So I mean, every PED isn't going to be anabolics or androgenic, but it still gives you an edge.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole. I mean, then you have other stuff that might not give you edge, but does like caffeine, shit like that. Like they're technically performance enhancing, but not by enough to
how much
actually categorize
an edge an Adderall can give you, which is why amphetamines are like on some ban list.
Froze.
So I mean, there's a wide spectrum of PEDs, but I mean, if it's on the list, it's on the list.
It is. I think that I mean that's the whole reason for the ban lists. But I don't know. Yeah. That's a weird hill to fight on. Yeah,
Mark,
do you want to shout out your business or anything?
Coaching, F3 Transformations, Instagram page, YouTube page. I haven't been active on there in a long time. I haven't posted videos since maybe 2019. So I need to get back to recording videos probably. Offer online training, like I said, lifestyle, physique prep, powerlifting, nutrition coaching, gear coaching, all the taboo stuff. I also do in-person training in Birmingham, Alabama area. So, hey, just reach out. Anybody interested?
Cool.
Yep.
F3 Transformations.
Marcus, thank you for doing this, and thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir. You're a great guy. We appreciate you coming on.
We